This is just another video of Donald Trump telling you exactly what he is going to do should he win the presidency in 2024.
We will restore law and order to our communities, and I will direct a completely overhauled DOJ to investigate every radical, out-of-control, fake, crooked prosecutor in America for their illegal, racist, in-reverse enforcement of the law. I am also going to indemnify all police officers. This is a big thing, and it's a brand new thing, and I think it's so important. I'm going to indemnify through the federal government all police officers and law enforcement officials throughout the United States from being destroyed by the radical left for taking strong actions against crime.
Oh, wait. He said it more than once. Here's another time when he said it.
And we're going to bring law and order back. We're going to do something that I will say is slightly controversial, but it shouldn't be. We are going to indemnify policemen and precincts and states and cities from being sued. We want them to do their job. Our police and law enforcement has to come back, and they want to come back, and they want to do their job, and we are going to indemnify them so they don't lose their wife, their family, their pension, and their job. We are going to indemnify policemen and law enforcement, and we're going to tell them to get out. We love you. Do your job.
And to make sure that everyone hears what he's saying, he said it yet again. He wants y'all to understand that he means what he says.
Also going to indemnify all police officers and law enforcement officials throughout the United States for being destroyed by the radical left for taking strong action on crime. These are people, they want to destroy them because they want to put criminals away. They're forced to do nothing. They cannot do anything when they want to. They do want to. They're the greatest people. The police, and I just met a lot of them in the backstage, are all like incredible people. But, you know, they're under threat of losing their pension, their house, and their family, and losing everything. If you touch these people, I mean, you let what's going on where the people are going into these stores and robbing them, and even the clerks, they fire clerks if they try and stop them. I mean, if I had a clerk that was willing to stop them, I would say, you are the greatest. You love our country, our company, our store. And they fire them. It's like crazy. There's something going on. Our brains are being fried. There's something going on. But our police know everything, and they can solve these crime problems very quickly, but they're not allowed to do it. And they don't want to lose their families. They don't want to lose their house and their pension. We're not going to let that happen anymore. So what I'm going to do is give indemnifications to any police officer that gets in trouble for pursuing a criminal, because that's what we have to do.
So first, here's the definition of indemnify. Now, there's two definitions. So we're going with the one in context, which is the second definition. Secure someone against legal liability for their actions. So what Donald Trump is saying is that police officers, as long as he's president, police officers will have no legal liability for the actions that they take against citizens of the United States, meaning they can stomp you to death, meaning they can kneel on your neck for 8 minutes and 46 seconds, and you will not be held accountable, meaning they could grape you. They can do whatever they want to you and not be held liable. When Donald Trump says he wants to keep communities safe, he's not talking about black communities. However, the police officers will be able to come into black communities, and all they have to do is say, I suspected you of stealing, and they could beat you down and not be held liable for it. This is what is called a police state. I found a perfect breakdown of it by someone over on Twitter. I know, but this is the perfect breakdown. Let's go through it. Trump says that he will indemnify the police if reelected. Do you know what that means? Police officers will no longer personally be subject to the rule of law. If they ignore your civil rights, they can't be charged. If they beat your children, that's okay with Trump, especially if your child's skin isn't white. This is the first step to establishing a police state. He vows to stop reverse discrimination, proudly saying the quiet part out loud. And the fraudulent prosecutors that he's talking about Fonnie Willis, he's talking about Letitia James, he's talking about black prosecutors. The tweet thread goes on to say, if an out-of-control police force with their military-style weapons and vehicles isn't enough firepower to trounce on our freedoms, he'll call in the National Guard. Because remember, no protesting under Trump. No, that will not be allowed. If that's still not enough power to quash large-scale, normally constitutionally protected protests, no problem. Trump will deploy the U.S. military to our streets. Tanks and armored vehicles will become the norm. Emergency broadcasts on your phones and TVs, armed night patrols, curfews, helicopters, and aircraft overhead. Just imagine what this will do to our economy, to our jobs, to our lives, to our children's future. He is only talking, bragging like this because he is very confident that he will win in 2024. And I'm sure we all know who is responsible for boosting Trump's confidence in the idea that he will win in 2024. We do know that, right? We see them right here on TikTok. Anywho, I'm going to leave you with this.
They bought a catastrophe like in, nobody's ever seen really anything like it. If you look today look over the last 3 years, it's crazy what's going on. They're ruining our country. And it's true. They're destroying the blood of our country. That's what they're doing. They're destroying our country. They don't like it when I said that. And I never read Mein Kampf. They said, oh, Hitler said that in a much different way. No, they're coming from all over the world, people all over the world. We have no idea. They could be healthy. They could be very unhealthy. They could bring in disease that's going to catch on in our country, but they do bring in crime. But they have them coming from all over the world. And they're destroying the blood of our country. They're destroying the fabric of our country. On my first day back in the White House, I will terminate every open border policy of the Biden administration, stop the invasion on our southern border, and begin the largest domestic deportation operation in American history.
He will close the southern border, and he will begin the largest deportation in history. He's telling you what he's going to do. And on that note, I'm going to head out. I'm going to get me some new coffee syrups for my coffee bar because I'm clear on the danger that Donald Trump represents, that a Donald Trump presidency represents. And I will be voting accordingly.